Hey everyone, it's Movie Lover 120 here, and I'm here with an extra movie review tonight. Yeah, two movie reviews. You believe that? And this movie review is going to be for none other than the prequel to the film I just reviewed a few hours ago. Yes, the one you've been all waiting for, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the beginning. aka the remake two of you have been waiting for. The review two of you have been waiting for. So, we all know in 2003, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, one of the most notorious horror movies of cinema, had a remake. And how was it? Well, fans liked it for what it was, critics didn't. However, despite what critics thought, it was successful at the box office, enough to warrant what was soon supposed to be a follow-up. Yeah, originally it was going to be a sequel, but then producers like, nah, let's make it a prequel. So instead it ended up being a prequel, and of course it was called Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Beginning. And it was released in October 2006. And what did people think about this one? Well, fans thought it was okay. Well, two YouTube subscribers of mine really love it. Some fans are more split. There's fans who like it, and there's fans that kind of bash it for its gore. Critics, however, gave it worse reviews. Like Rotten Tomatoes, it got a 13% compared to 2003 Remake's 37%. And at the box office, and it was okay at the box office. It didn't flop. It made like 51 million worldwide and 39 million domestically on a 16 million budget. However, it wasn't really like successful like the previous film. And of course, that's kind of why we didn't really get a third film in the remake series. Instead of that third film, we got the garbage that was Chainsaw 3D and Leatherface. Yeah, we got those pieces of shit. But what is this movie about? Well, take a bone-chilling journey into evil and witness how Thomas Hewitt became the infamous and deranged serial killer Leatherface. Born under the most gruesome conditions, an abandoned baby is found and taken in by the demented Hewitt family. As he grows under their morbid nurturing, Thomas develops a ravenous appetite for chainsaws and torture. This is unfortunate for 4 teens captured by the shady local sheriff and brought to the Hewitt sadistic house of horrors. There, the changers must fight to survive as Thomas's murderous desires are unleashed and Leatherface is born. Man, this one, I have to say, I think of all the installments, this one is most definitely the goriest. Like, it is so relentless in its brutality at, like some of the kills and gore in this film, man. Yeah, and it even shows all those stupid PG-13 teenage horror films that were back in the 2000s what are actual horror movies supposed to be. I mean, it still doesn't really bring anything new to the genre, like, it's not really supposed to though, but it still has some good old slasher fun, like most slashers installments have, and you're wondering about that sheriff from the first one, and how that sheriff's actually associated with the family. He actually is not a sheriff. In this movie, it shows why he wears a sheriff uniform. He was actually a relative of the Hewitts named Charlie Hewitt, and he basically ended up killing the sheriff and took his uniform and disguised himself as a sheriff. Yeah, so that's why they call him Sheriff Hoyt. Yeah. I think the actors are pretty excellent. Excellent this one. The directing's kind of great. The editing's great, and it doesn't dull. And also, unlike most serial killer backstories, like with the Rob Zombie remake of Halloween and Leatherface and Black Xmas 2006, this one actually does not delve too much into Leatherface past, which was actually very nice. Because this movie actually knows that giving away too much of the antagonist makes him lose his mystic. Like with those remakes I mentioned, basically took away the mystic of those villains. Answer some of the questions left in the remake, of course, or prequels are supposed to do. It is a horror movie. A true horror movie. That's something you hardly see, especially in today's world. And while the acting is great, the characters are kind of above average for the film, and you do kind of somewhat sympathize with them, except for maybe the blonde one. Ugh. Also, you oddly begin to sympathize for the actual killer Leatherface, and as for the rest of the good stuff, definitely totally ups the ante with gore. There's a lot I can't even list here, but if you are a gore hound, you'll probably be satisfied. A very ton load of suspense. We are all accustomed to the stupid jump scare scenario, but this one hardly does this for once, which is actually also very great. Because I hate cheap jump scares, especially the stupid door slams in every Blumhouse movie. And the movie also has a very distinct picture. Sure, some scenes can be a bit dark to understand at full speed, but it's going on, but it is kind of rare, and the rest is kind of eye candy, really. And now, well, for the bad stuff of the movie, there's kind of a bit, I will say, but, well, for one, the film, it kind of feels as it's kind of recycling a lot of other stuff from the other Texas Chainsaw films. Which kind of really did not live up, and which you can add to the typical slasher cliches, like don't go upstairs or down to the basement, and it only really adds to the predictability, but it's less predictable compared to Friday the 13th, its numerous cliches. And the other thing I really did not like was the ending. Now, I get this is a prequel, but it still felt kind of cheap. Clever, but cheap. Even though it is supposed to be an introduction of the character, so it does its job and even more, but yeah, despite those flaws I have, how would I rank this one? Surprisingly, do I hate this movie? I'm gonna tell you loud and clear, Texas Chainsaw fans, no! I don't hate this movie, I actually think it's pretty good for a prequel. Yeah, definitely a much better Texas Chainsaw prequel than the Leatherface. I'll tell you that much. Like, even this felt like a better prequel to the original than Leatherface even was. I get it's not, but still, and yeah, Horror Metal did say it best. If Rob Zombie wanted to direct a remake, he should have directed either one of these films. Well, he should have directed this film if he wanted to do some kind of remake of an old series, something that actually has trashy characters. But oh well, whatever, it is what it is. Anyway, here's how I rank Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the beginning. I am going to give this film a 7 out of 10. And for now, I think that pretty much wraps up my Texas Chainsaw series, so what is going to be my next review? Well, I don't know yet, but it'll be something. Whatever I can think of. Yeah, just have to see and find out. But until then, that'll be it for this video, guys. Thank y'all for watching, and if you like this and want to see more, then don't forget to like and subscribe to Movie Lover 120.